What's up, y'all? It's me, Gold. Today we're over Garen's Time, Battle for Mount Hyjal, and I'm going to show you guys how to get your Tier 6 gear. The reason for a Battle for Mount Hyjal first, I'm going to show you guys what actually turn into pieces to buy the gear. I've had people ask me this. There's like two guys inside the Battle for Mount Hyjal, and one sells gem patterns and the other one sells the actual gear. The guy here sells the actual gear. Now, as you guys might know, there are actually three other pieces to the Tier 6 set. They don't match the original Tier 6 set, so we're not going to go over them. They match the Sunwall set. So basically, you have to come here, Battle for Mount Hyjal, even if you already have the pieces to turn them in. There's no other place to turn them in that I know of. And basically, there are two places that you get the original Tier 6 looking gear, and that's Battle for Mount Hyjal and Black Temple. In order to you zone in to Battle for Mount Hyjal, and then you talk to Jaina, and whenever you talk to Jaina, it starts out like this wave thing, and you fight different waves of trash. And what I do is I take all the waves, and I pull them right to where they spawn here, and I AoE them all down. Now, I'm going to be trying to do this absolutely as fast as I possibly can, but this video is still pretty long. I don't know how this took so long. It's just a long instance, and so obviously, if you guys already know, I'll put a thing on the side of the video, and it'll show like kind of where everything drops from. You can just like kind of click around and figure out, if there's anything you're confused. But this is pretty much straightforward. And so as soon as all these waves are dead, you can go into the Horde Fortress. You're not really going to get much out of it though. And then as soon as you get a Rage Winter Chill, he will root you in place and he'll also stun you. He'll also do something called Death and Decay. And if he casts Death and Decay on you and you're rooted, you might have a problem because Death and Decay does a percentage of your health every second. And so I think it does like 10% of your health every second. And so you need to get out of that immediately. Like that's actually probably the only thing that in this entire instance that can kill you. Other than that, this whole like event thing is just completely face roll. The mobs that you fight, there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of mobs. You'll fight like an abomination, the ghouls that I'm fighting here, and then you also fight like these crypt fiends and banshees. Oh, and I guess there's one more. There's the ghostly summoners. The Banshees will put a curse on you, and sometimes it'll make you do less hit chance, but honestly, none of this stuff really matters. If you just sit here and AoE it all down, like, you're really going to have no trouble doing it at all. The only thing that's kind of annoying about this is that obviously this was before a lot of the loot changes, and so it can be kind of hard to actually get all the gear that you want, because not a lot of it drops. A Netheron is also extremely easy to kill. He casts an Infernal, and my bet is if you're level 90, you're never going to see this Infernal. It doesn't even matter. They also drop some other really cool transmog gear, but in terms of Tier 6, only 2 bosses in here drop it out of the 5 bosses. I think it was like 5. Yeah, there's 5 bosses in the instance, and 3 bosses in Black Temple drop it. As soon as you kill a Netheron, you talk to Jaina, and you're going to go around this path, and you're going to go up to the Horde camp. Anybody that's played Warcraft 3, this event, like this instance, basically mirrors like the last like quest or like level. I think it was in like the Night Elf. I think it was in the Night Elf campaign, and basically you're fighting off Archimonde and you're stopping him from killing the World Tree, and the whole thing is like, I don't know. I thought it was really cool because I used to play Warcraft 3 all the time. And like kind of play through, probably like one of my favorite missions was really fun. So I went up and I talked to Thrall, and Thrall is what starts the next set of events. Now for the events at the Horde base, it can be a little annoying, and the reason for that is that there are ranged mobs that you have to kill. As you can see, there's only a few ghouls here, and so I killed the ghouls. And what I'm gonna have to do after this is basically I'm gonna have to go up there, and then I'm going to go and I'm gonna have to kill these like gargoyles that are up here at the top. And my main's a warrior, and so obviously it's like really annoying for me to do. But that's one of the main reasons why I did this on my warlock. As a range class, you should have absolutely no trouble doing these. The gargoyles have very little health, so it's not like the gargoyles are actually going to kill you. It's just they're just going to waste your time, and sometimes you'll have to go back and forth to kill them. But the whole thing is just really pretty simple. Also, there are like 2 other monsters that spawn here. There's like these giant frost worms, and there's also infernals that spawn, but that won't happen for a while. Both of those are really just not even a big deal. As I said before, this is just a pretty simple thing to do. You can also make a lot of gold through doing this, and you can also get rep with the Scale of the Sands, I think, and that's like the Brood of Nozdormu, Burning Crusade faction, I guess you could say. I guess they like reamped it or something like that. And basically, you can't really do anything with the Scale of the Sands rep. I think you used to be able to buy a ring with it or something like that. So it's not very useful now. But I mean, if it does give an achievement, and so if you're trying to go for like one of the reputation things, you probably want to start here. And another thing is that sometimes like after the boss spawns, or after like you move to the different bases, like the base will be overrun, and you can stay there and kill a few extra monsters for more rep, but they don't spawn infinitely as I thought they did. There's a frostworm there. Frostworms look pretty cool, and I think that I just kill them in like one hit. It's actually like pretty not very exciting, but they used to be pretty hard to kill. Their hitbox is so big that I think if you jump, if you're melee, you can actually almost hit them. And I remember being able to do that whenever I would do this all the time for my warrior. The frostworms really are not, obviously they're not hard to kill, they just have a little bit more health, and if you can't hit them, I mean, you can get out your little throwing daggers. Like I think like every melee class has at least some kind of ranged attack. Like even as a warrior, I know that I have, 3 or 4 abilities. Khazra here is another one of those bosses that's just going to fall over. He doesn't really do anything that's important, and he also doesn't really drop anything that's important either. That mace is pretty cool, but other than that, he drops his shield. The Khazra Hardened Heart. It used to be a very good shield at level 70, and now I don't see anybody to transmog to it because it actually does look kind of weird. But, I mean, if you're the kind of person that likes it, then you could obviously get that. But besides that, Khazra doesn't drop any tier 6 gear. There's obviously going to be offset gear for each class, so it's like if you're like a warrior, I think that, what's it called? Akama, yeah, Akama, and the third boss in Black Temple, like Shade of Akama, drops like your boots, and someone else drops the belt. And so you have to figure out all that stuff for yourself because I'm not really sure exactly. But there are offset pieces. As you can see, here's the Infernal Wave here. And Infernals have pretty much like a little bit less than 100,000 health, so I can just go around and one-shot them. The only thing that's annoying with them is I actually have to chase them around and, like, kill them individually since they're kind of everywhere. The boss we're going to be fighting up next is Asgore, and he's like a giant pit lord. And he's actually one of the first people that's actually going to drop tier 6. Asgore drops the gloves, and so he also doesn't really do much of anything. I'm just going to say that right now. He used to put like a curse on you, and it would kill you in one hit. But at this point in the game, he's never even going to have a chance to cast that curse. And I think if he did, it would probably miss anyway, since you're such a high level. But I would say you can do this if you're even like 85. It shouldn't really be a big deal. My warlock that I did this with is I think like 544 item level, and like I know how to play him like kind of well, but not like some kind of pro warlock or anything. I just run around and I play Destro, so it's not really that hard to begin with. And the only thing, as I said, that's kind of annoying with this is that you do have to go back and forth, and so like. Basically, you have to kill the gargoyles and you have to go kill the infernals, and so you're just like running around all the time. Don't really worry about like the infernals killing anything. Like if the infernals kill something, it doesn't really matter. I think if they kill Thrall, it ends the event. But I mean, Thrall has like 500,000 health. Like the infernals aren't going to kill him, and unless you're like completely AFK or something weird like that. And then there's Asgore walking up there, looks just like every single other pit lord in the game. And as you can see here, he does pretty much nothing. I think he silences you, which is, yeah, that's kind of annoying, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it just like lasts for a couple seconds, and he's dead, and knows with the gloves. And so, obviously, you can get the gloves from him. And as soon as you kill Asgore, you're going to go up and you're going to talk to Thrall. And whenever you talk to Thrall, that's going to kind of start the, what's it called? Like the next part of the instance. And you're supposed to run away here. I do some dumb stuff where like I'm just like kind of waiting around just to see how many of these things would spawn. And so I'm just going to talk to you guys for a minute about Archimonde. Basically, and these are the ads that spawn, by the way, after everything dies, because I went over and killed them for some reason. And then, like, oh, just a bunch of stupid stuff happens here. So Archimonde is also very easy to kill. He doesn't really do anything. He puts like a debuff on you that does like, I think like 300,000 damage over 5 minutes, and so I think it like maths out to ticking for like 2,500 every 3 seconds. Sometimes he'll knock you up in the air. It seems like he only does this whenever it's 2 players, more than 1 player on the aggro table. Hunters, and I did this without a pet, and so I can't really tell you guys for sure if it works with pets or not. But basically, if he knocks you up in the air, usually you will die from falling damage if you don't use something. And that's why you can talk to Tyrande, Tyrande Whisperwind, and I'm going to go over and talk to her. And she has like a little thing, and she'll give you like this thing that'll reduce your falling damage. It's called Tears of the Goddess. And if for whatever reason you do get knocked up in the air, you can use the Tears of the Goddess while you're falling down, and it'll slow your fall speed so it won't kill you. Obviously, it would kind of suck to die to a level 70 boss. And basically, he doesn't, as I said, he doesn't really do anything. He does like a fire thing, and I think he does a fear too, but most of the stuff doesn't really matter. The Finger of Death is, I think, something that you were supposed to interrupt, but at this point it only does 20,000 damage, and so it's not even going to kill you anyway. As you can see, he's only got like 4 million health or something like that. So, I mean, as I said before, any level 90 can kill him easily. Like, even like my terrible level 90 druid that I just got to 90 like 2 days ago, I could probably come in and just kill this guy without even paying attention. It's just a Finger of Death. I guess like if you're like kind of low level or something like that, it would cause you a little bit of trouble. But it seems like it is interruptible too, and so it's not really an issue either way. Whenever he gets like really low health, he'll all the wisps will like just kind of, I don't know, like gather around him and start zapping him. And this is just like kind of an RP event. Whenever that happens, that means that he's actually going to die. So that's pretty much it. As soon as he actually dies, Archimonde is who drops the helmet, and he also drops some pretty cool transmog items. He drops a really cool shield. He drops leggings, and he drops Cataclysm's Edge, which is one of the cooler two-handed swords. And that's the sword that who's it? Khaz'gral. Khaz'gral was using the third boss, the giant Doom Ward, and so that's the sword he was using. Now we're over here at Black Temple, and that's in Shadowmoon Valley in Outland. And it's this little cubby hole on the side of the, oh no, I guess the bigger Black Temple. And all the bosses in here are pretty easy to do. The only thing that you want to watch out for is that, shoot, what the hell am I thinking? It's Black Temple. It doesn't even matter. And so anyway, I'm just kind of gonna do the walkthrough here. If you haven't done this before, you might get lost or whatever. I've had a bunch of people that I used to run this with would get lost and everything like that. So hopefully, if those people are watching this video, it'll help them. Basically, you just come right up through here and you kill all the trash. The trash can drop some pretty nice, like, I don't know, like BOE, like transmog items, and so maybe you can get that. And also those gems like sell for like 5 gold each, so that's kind of cool. The first boss here is a High Warlord Nagentis. He has very low health, and so I don't think this will be an issue. But sometimes he'll root you, or he'll like stun you with like the spine thing. And so you want to make sure that you kill him before he casts that. In terms of tier 6, he doesn't drop any though. He does drop a really cool pole arm and a couple of other really cool items. But other than that, the first boss that actually drops tier 6 in this instance is Mother Shiraz, and I think she's like the third to last boss, and so all the other bosses up until her are basically just like like bosses that will drop other items that you might want for I don't know, like kind of filling in your tier 6, like for boots or belt, you know, something like that, or a weapon. There's a lot of like really cool items that drop in this instance. So if you come up this ramp here and you fight Supremus, the way that you kill Supremus is you just cast a few spells on him and he'll fall over. He was actually like really easy even to 70. Like there's absolutely no challenge in here whatsoever. He drops a pretty cool mace, but other than that, it's just, you know, one more thing you gotta do. As soon as you come in through here, you go into the left, or sorry, the right. I don't know why I always mess that up. You go into the right here, and you want to kind of kill these trash packs in like smaller little piles because they have a bunch of like different CC mechanisms, and sometimes you can just like be indefinitely CC'd. And I don't really know if they could kill you, but they might be able to. As you can see, I went up there and I talked to Akama. The reason I talked to Akama is because talking to Akama starts the third fight, which is Shade of Akama. And in order to start this fight, you have to kill all, or finish the fight, I guess. You have to kill all of the little ads that are channeling to Akama, and then Akama's going to walk to the real Akama. Shade of Akama's going to walk to the real, and they're going to have like a duel. And basically, you just kill the Shade of Akama, and then that's pretty much it. This is also a pretty easy one to do. As you can see, I mean, I think this is actually the easiest boss in the instance, even before Wrath came out. As you can see, I think I got the boots there. And so the boots are part of the Warrior Offset transmog for the Onslaught gear. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Onslaught gear is the exact same as like the tier or Season 3 gear, but it's brown instead of blue. I think the Season 3 gear looks a little bit cooler, but you can actually get some things that look just like the Season 3 gear. I think this is the helm of the Illidari Shatterer. This is from the Illidari Council, which is the second to last boss. And it actually looks just like the tier or Season 3 gear for Warriors. I don't really know why they did that, but anyway, so as soon as you kill Akama, you're going to come up, and you're going to go up to where I am now. And basically, you're going up to Terran Gorefiend. And luckily, I think now they actually have a map of Black Temple, which is like, it's like 3 years too late. Then you come in through this door, and there's Terran Gorefiend. Terran Gorefiend is another one. As you kill him too slow, he can turn you into like a ghost, and it'll really kind of cause you some problems. And so he'll put a debuff on you, and it'll last for 1 minute. And just make sure you kill him before that debuff wears off, and that'll save you some time. Notable drops from Terran Gorefiend is that he drops, I think he drops a pretty cool gun, and he also drops Soul Cleaver. And I'm a warrior, so like I know pretty much all the items that drop for warriors, but I'm not really 100% sure of all the other items that drop for every single other class. After you kill Terran Gorefiend, you retrace your steps back to the middle of where Black Temple is, and all of the Akama guys will be friendly to you now, and you're going to go right across, and then at this point you can either do ROS or Gurtog Blood Boil. I have just always done ROS. I don't really remember why. I think that's the way that my guild killed it back at 70. And so ROS is to the right, and Gurtog is to the left. ROS is probably like one of the coolest fights in the entire game. I think it just like looks really, really awesome. And basically, it's like a 3-phase fight. And in the second phase, it has like reflect damage, and so make sure that you have some sort of way to like heal yourself if you like almost kill yourself with reflect damage. I don't think you even can now with the health pool that you have. But if you're doing this at under level 90, you want to make sure that you do. The first phase here is really easy. Basically, the thing here is like you can't do any healing in the first phase, and so it used to matter, but now it really doesn't. You just have to kill them, and that's pretty much it. If you have any sort of absorb, that works too. In between each phase, these little things spawn, and they'll just heal you for like, I think it's like, I don't know, like 40% of your maximum health and mana. And so that's kind of cool. And so the second guy comes out. As you can see, I'm taking some reflect damage. And he also does like this spirit bolt, and disorients you. And he used to actually be able to like chain cast this on you and kill you. It was so annoying. But they actually changed it because nobody could even solo Black Temple without doing some kind of like weird strategy. Like soloing Black Temple was like harder than doing anything just because of this one boss. But other than that, I mean, it's not very hard at all now, which is I'm kind of glad. So it's easier to like farm ward waves and stuff like that. And the third one here, third one actually is pretty cool because you actually do like a little bit extra damage to him. Your damage like ramps up over time, and in the last phase, that's irrelevant now because he dies in 2 seconds. But assuming that he didn't, that would matter. And so as soon as you kill him, you go retrace your steps, and you go right down over here. And that door is not open. That's because that door only opens when you kill Gurtog Blood Boil. And you come right down here. There's like green entrance, and this is where Gurtog Blood Boil is. Gurtog Blood Boil doesn't do anything. It doesn't matter. You just kill him. I was just thinking. He does some dots on you, and those could be an issue. I remember I had a little bit of trouble soloing him in Cataclysm. And so, but if you're level 90, obviously you have 3 times the health, and he should be no problem for you. As you can see, I mean, he's only got like 4 million health, and so he's just going to die in just a couple seconds here. The only thing that he really drops that's noteworthy is he drops the staff that matches the priest tier 5 transmog. It looks really, really cool. I actually, I don't remember the name of that. That's weird. Usually I remember the name of things that are relevant like that. Anyway, so after you kill him, you come right around and through here to I think it's like the Den of Mortal Desires, I think. And this is the pathway up to killing Mother Shiraz. Make sure that you kill these packs of smaller like concubines or whatever, the little like ones with like 20,000 health, because sometimes they'll mind control you, and if they mind control you, that'll just kind of waste some time, and it'll like mess everything up. I'm not really killing a lot of, or like looting these, because I think I was like out of inventory space. But yeah, just make sure that you kill these like pretty quick after they spawn, just so you don't get the mind control, and then they'll like reset, and you'll have to follow them, and it's just like really kind of weird. Mother Shiraz does like a Saber Lash, which is basically an attack that's supposed to be split between different members of the raid. And so she hits for like 30,000 or something like that with the Saber Lash because it's supposed to be split between 2 tanks. She also, I don't think she really does much if you're doing this solo, but she used to also do like this thing where you'd like connect you together with like this beam, and you'd have to like spread out with shadow. Usually you would need a shadow resistance set to even kill her back in the day, but at this point you obviously don't need anything. Other than that, as you can see, she'll do a little bit of damage to me, but I think that she's like pretty much, yeah, she doesn't even break my shield, so I can't even show you guys how much damage she would do. She drops the shoulders for tier 6, and she also drops some pretty cool items. As you can see, she drops that Blade of Savagery, and that's, I think I still have that in my inventory just in case. These little guardians here, they have like some ability that they can like channel on you, and it'll do like 100,000 or like 200,000 damage, and it's like insta kill thing. Obviously, if you're doing any sort of like, if you're doing over like 10,000 DPS, you're going to be able to kill them before they even think about casting it. But if they do, I don't even know. Like, I honestly don't even remember like how to deal with that anymore. Basically, you want to make sure you kill them like semi quickly. You don't just kite them around because they can channel that thing on you. Now we come up through here, and basically this is where the Illidari Council is. Illidari Council is just 4 different people. It doesn't really matter which one you kill. I always kill the Paladin. The Priest, you can't have problems killing her. You can have problems killing her because basically she will do a, what's it called? A reflective shield. And so the shield will like reflect damage back on you, and so that can kind of be an issue. And these are kind of annoying to kill, but it's not really that big of a deal. Oh, that's just the Helm of the Illidari Shatterer. And Illidari Council also drops the leggings. Whenever you kill them, you have to go down, you have to talk to Akama. If you don't talk to Akama and you go up there, nothing happens. And then there's like this little RP scene where the other broken Draenei guys like channel this beam, and they break the seal, and then you go up and you fight Illidan. Illidan drops a chest piece. He also drops some pretty cool other items. He drops like this it's like Felguard or like Zergling like caster staff. He drops the fucking Warglaives, which I spent over a year. I literally killed Illidan, I think 55 times before I got the Warglaives, but rest assured, I did get the Warglaives. I actually got the same day I got the Ragnaros mount. That was a good day. Anyway, so then you have to go over and talk to Akama to actually start the Illidan fight. Illidan fight is 3 phases. First phase doesn't matter. The second phase with like the, what's it called? I guess 4 phases. The second phase is kind of a little annoying because of the ads, and if you pull the ads too far away from the Warglaives, I think it's like 30 yards away from the Warglaives, they have like a boss level in Rage. And as soon as, oh, by the way, as soon as you take Illidan 70%, he goes into the phase 2. He puts his Warglaives on 2 sides of the room. I'm just going to stand by one of them and then kill the other enraged ad before it comes to me. But as you can see here, it does enrage, and it will do, I think it hits for like 20,000, and it hits like once a second. And so you want to make sure you kill them as soon as you can. They have less than, I think, like 1,000,000 health, and so it shouldn't really be an issue at all. And as soon as you kill him, or you bring him to 30%, he'll do some RP event with Maiev, and after the RP event is over, you're actually able to kill him. The rest of the fight is really kind of irrelevant. He does some other really cool stuff that you'll really only see if you're level 70 and progressing on the fight, but other than that, you'll never really see the other things happening. And then finally, Illidan does one last little RP event, and then he dies and you can loot him. As you say, he drops a chest piece, and he drops a Crystal Spire Kiribor, and he drops a Curse Vision of Sargeras. Both pretty cool transmog items. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the Tier 6 guide. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.